All right, so we got the number one spot, Jaguars. I don't think there's been really any deviation from this pick overall. I think it's
Nope.
pretty consensus. The
He
newlywed,
just got married. Yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna
Trevor
say.
Lawrence, the newlywed. Could we make a
Could you
lot of money
imagine?
in
Could you
Jacksonville?
imagine about to sign like for $200 million and then you just get married and your life is over? It's just,
Oh yeah, and the endorsement deals that I'll run through. I mean, he's gonna have
that's true.
he's gonna have Nike, Adidas,
He
Puma,
should have
all these
waited
companies
till
coming to try to
he
sponsor.
should have waited till after to get his wedding sponsored.
It's
Probably could have
true.
gotten like a free tux, some nice gifts.
He could have.
I'm
Free,
sure
like,
the money
bar,
is not going to
maybe.
matter to it.
No, it
But
won't.
still, right now it does. He's in debt right now, probably. Unless
You don't
Clemson's
think that
been
guy
paying
was
him about
being paid?
Well, I'm pretty
250K
sure
a year.
Clemson's got some stuff in the pocket for him, though. All
Yeah,
those
absolutely.
all those donors and the backers. But
Okay, so
anyway,
we
we'll
go
move on to
him.
the.
I think that makes sense.
Zach Wilson, I think, is shooing for two.
I was gonna say it's definitely gonna be Zach Wilson.
I think
They
since
specifically felt good about the quarterback class.
Right.
So,
and I think
Go ahead,
since
Peter.
the Niners didn't even ask the Jets about whether they would trade, and I think that means it's guaranteed. That's
Oh
Wilson.
yeah, 100%. And the fact that they moved Darnold as well, there's not even
Yeah.
speculation that it could be Jamar Chase or Mason. Well, I think the Zach Wilson pick is pretty obvious here at number 2 for him. Now
and they also didn't re-sign Joe Flacco. What?
This isn't a conspiracy theory. I don't want to say that, but a theory I have is that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch might be throwing up a smokescreen by saying how much they like Mac Jones.
to get someone to trade up to their trade up.
To get the Falcons to move up?
Well, here's my thought. To get Mac Jones at 3 and to trade up is a very similar to a Trubisky move. I think they would be more inclined to grab a guy like Fields or Lance, and listen, I'm not in the 49ers organization, but I think those two would fit better into their scheme. I think Justin Fields had the most RPO passes in all of college football this past year, or out of at least the top guys in the draft class. So it would make a lot of sense in Shanahan's offense to grab a guy like that.
Yeah, I mean,
what are
like,
the odds that they try to get Kirk Cousins out of Minnesota via the 3 pick? Because I guess Shanahan's in love with Kirk, sort of. Like, because there's been so much talk about how they want Mac Jones because of how much he reminds Shanahan of Kirk.
So
he could just be like,
the only people I've seen floating that are Vikings fans who want to get rid of the Kirk contract because Kirk is making like $31 million. Like, I think it's funny, but
didn't Shanahan? I'm pretty sure like Shanahan said last year though that like he wants another Kirk. Like he's always been super like positive about him and like always said how much he likes so much of his game.
Also the first quarterback that he ever coached.
Yeah.
So, because he was Washington, Atlanta.
I think that if it's not Mac Jones, I could see it being Trey Lance.
I would see Lance as there as well too.
I was gonna say that I think we should make the pick as Mac, but I also think it's odd that they're being so, allegedly open about liking that guy.
They're being open, but Ian, I think it was Ian Rappaport was saying that the only people in the organization that are in the know on it are Shanahan and John Lynch.
Well, also
no one else in the organization knows, which is why, yeah.
Like, obviously, for the most part, they know that Wilson will be gone at that point. If he's there, they're gonna take him, but he won't.
Yeah,
obviously Trevor Lawrence won't be there. So
I'd put Mac, but I would not be surprised if they took Trey.
Yep.
But
we'll just go based off the rumors. We'll take Mac Jones here for the 49ers.
Falcons. God. I think they're going to – people have been saying Kyle Pitts.
Quarterback.
Really?
I think quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, we did this last time for them. We had them taking quarterback. Yeah.
After next year, they can get rid of Matt Ryan's contract.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're, though, like – I don't know. I guess that We did just do this last time. But...
so early. I mean, he's more than a tight end. We discussed this.
No, I think QB makes the most sense. It's just funny to do 4 QBs in a row, but it makes sense. I mean,
that's
what Schefter was saying, that it's going to be like at least 4 of the top 5. I would go Fields here probably.
Yeah. And he's the hometown kid too. You gotta like the connection. Number 5, I've seen Pitts a couple times. I think
I've seen Chase.
Sewell is the obvious choice. They do have a decent amount of.
I've seen Chase. I keep seeing.
Ooh, actually,
because of Burrow.
I
want Burrow and Chase to get back together.
Here's my take on that as well, Peters. So this is such a deep O-line draft. It's not a deep wide receiver draft at all. It's like weirdly top heavy. It's like him, Waddle, and then like maybe some decent gadget
for the top
guys.
end talent. For like number 1, like this guy can be your franchise receiver.
So like if you're picking at 37 or no, 38, right? Yeah.
And you can get like Leatherwood or like Eichenberg.
You could take Leatherwood or Cosme, or Eichenberg or Redums,
whoever
or whatever
falls.
his name is.
Whoever falls.
Or like there's a couple dudes with injury problems, like the Bama interior guy. Like they're gonna be able to get a good, like I mean, but then again, I don't know. I would take Sewell personally, but I feel like Joe Burrow is gonna like probably pound the table for.
I think it comes down to it's like if you evaluate Penei Sewell as like the next Joe Thomas, who's gonna just like be your guy on the left side for over a decade, and you've got your quarterback as well, it almost makes like. You would love to grab another skill position, but you already got T. Higgins in last year's draft. You've got
who's all right.
You've got Tyler Boyd, who's actually a pretty decent receiver,
like pretty good.
You got like out and
T. Higgins
3 tight end. I'm not too sure who else they really have. So, would Chase kind of be overkill? Maybe in a sense, but he's also
you can never have too many receivers.
And he has a connection with Joe Burrow at LSU. I just feel like you can't skip out on Sewell when O-line was such a big issue for the Bengals last year. And
I mean, especially after he just broke his knee off his body too.
Right.
Like,
but remember, it's the Bengals, so.
I feel like you won't find a guy with better character than this guy.
Right.
I think that you're right. We should go Penny. I just would not be surprised if it's Terrace. Or not Terrace, sorry, Jamar. Terrace will be late.
That'd be a reach.
He's good though.
We can go Penny here. I think it just makes almost like too much sense.
Right.
And then I mean if the Bengals don't take Chase, the Dolphins would 100% grab him.
So
and if they do, they take Pitts. I think Pitts and Chase are a toss-up here.
I was going to say you take Pitts here.
Toss-up.
You think?
Because, dude, they could be running with isn't Mike Gesicki is low-key like a wide receiver. He's so good.
If they have both of them, Tua should not throw outside the numbers. It should just be those two guys
if you watch the way Tua is going to be successful is like 1, 2, 3, boom, release. Like he's not going to be like sitting, scanning, like moving, and then like gunning 40 downfield. It's like 1, 2, 3, boom. Like, and then he's athletic, so he can run. But like, I know that advanced like fantasy football statistics dudes love Gesicki, like they love him. And he basically is almost like wide receiver points for receptions. At least he was like with Fitz for a full year.
Towards the end of the year. Yep.
Yeah. But like, if you add Pitts into that, especially because I don't know what they run, but I'm assuming they have stuff with 2 tight ends in the field often, like most, and the Packers do it. A lot of teams do it. I mean, I would take Kyle Pitts here, honestly, because like, I don't know. I mean, do they still have Parker?
They do have Parker. I'm not sure. We'd have to look up if Jakeem Grant is still there. I don't know if he's one of the victims of getting cut
right
in the off season.
I mean, it's definitely tempting to take. It's tempting to take a wideout here, but like Kyle Pitts, if Kyle Pitts is like 60% of what the hype is, like that dude is going to start for 15 years, like barring anything like outlandish.
Listen,
so
I'm cool with that because there's a possible scenario like we just talked about that Jamar Chase could even go to the Bengals. So yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
It's being taken here.
Cool.
Number 6.
Plus, we can shake it up a little bit.
Then the Lions, they'd have to draft
Chase.
Yeah, they lost Galladay, they lost Marvin Jones.
I was gonna say there's not a more wide receiver starved team than them, really, right? Like,
yeah, I think this one's pretty easy. Literally best available. I mean, there's the case you take Trey Lance, and I guess you could develop him under. Their just play styles are so dissimilar.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Really hard to do. But yeah, let's go. We'll go Chase here for the Lions.
Cool.
Panthers.
All right. I mean, so the Darnold move makes me think that they're not going to take a quarterback. Okay. I would not be surprised if they took Lance, but I'm assuming – did they give up a second-round pick for him?
It was like a second, a fourth, and a sixth for Darnold, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably going to stick with him for 2 years at least. Theoretically, here's the thing, though, is what I talk about is that, like, and a lot of people say is that, like, if everything goes to plan for them, on the trajectory that they're currently on, they're not going to want to be, and they probably won't be in the top 10 for the next draft or two, which means they probably won't be able to get another QB of that caliber. But, I mean, you also just gave up capital for Sam Darnold. Yep. Apparently, Matt Rule really likes Sam Darnold. So,
yeah, I mean, so it's also interesting. Like, offensive tackle is one of their biggest needs. They still got Taylor Moton, and then they brought in like Cam Irving and Pat Elflein, who are just I don't know how confident I'd be if my team.
Elflein is atrocious, dude. He was a Viking. He's so bad.
Yeah, he was with the Vikings. So bad.
Yeah.
I don't think they would go O-line here.
I was gonna say maybe Slater if you got Darnold though, just as like I mean. And it does say tackles. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the Panthers.
But is Darnold 23 years and be 24 going into this year or something?
Oh, he's be older than that, dude.
No, he's young.
Oh, he's super young.
He is?
Young. Yeah.
He was like
Sam
20.
Darnold is. Oh, he's literally he's 23. He just turned 24 in June.
Yeah. So super young. It's like ton of potential still.
Okay, that's actually like not that's a better situation than I thought Sam Darnold was in, actually, like low key.
He's not like Trubisky's age can be like 26, 27. He's like
and they'll probably sign Mitch next offseason. So they won't need a quarterback.
Contract, 5 years, $300 million. So be on the lookout for that. But anyways, I do think if Trey Lance is on the board here, they would definitely go and grab him. But I don't know. The last year's draft, they took almost exclusively defensive players. So I don't think like Pat Surtain, while it's a viable option, and it is a need, just the way that their front office was so aggressive in trying to get Deshaun Watson before everything transpired with him and making pushes for other QBs, if they've got a young QB that they could develop, I think they would try to grab him. I don't know how close you guys would say they are to contending, so it's not like they're in a necessarily in now mode.
No, I honestly don't know with this. What are you thinking? Like, I honestly would take Slater.
I would take Slater if I was them.
Yeah, I think you just honestly like what was a huge problem for Sam Darnold. I mean, I don't know, running for his life in New York with Adam Gase.
Dysfunctional franchise.
Yeah, I mean, but like, get him a tackle.
But at like every level of play.
And
this is interesting.
This makes a ton of sense. I think, and I'm sorry I keep like saying this has to be, but I think like Trey Lance would make so much sense for this.
Oh, dude, this is another
perfect. QB goes to die in Denver.
I don't think so necessarily, dude. Denver, dude. I feel
so
like
he needs a year to develop. Which they won't
give him, by the way.
Yeah.
But hear me out on this. This is like if you're a quarter, like when you have to like kennel your dog, you can kennel them at like a shitty place or like the fancy luxury pet resorts.
Yeah.
This is like that for QBs. Like you've got Noah Fant, You've got a high pick invested in the line 2 years ago. There's a tackle from K-State who's incredible. They've got a decent line. They have they literally just drafted Jerry Jeudy, right?
And then coming back from injury.
Cortland Sutton, and then they also have another pick from Penn State. Who is that guy?
Tim Patrick?
No, it's the speedster.
Tiny speed guy.
KJ
Hamler, yeah. Like this dude, this is weapons galore. Yeah. And then on top of that, they have a great defense. Like,
who's even their OC though?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea because Fangio is a defensive head coach. I have no idea who's on the offense.
Well, having a defensive head coach is stupid, but I mean, I digress. But I would take.
I wouldn't know what that's like. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
we have a genius at head coach.
And then for the Cowboys,
Surtain.
Literally best available corner. It's interesting to see from the last time that we did it, or last time we did a mock, Caleb Farley was a lot higher, but there's been some injury concerns. His agent, assures teams that he should be good to go for the season, which you gotta always take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, I still think Pat Surtain would probably be the best option here for a team that needs a corner and needs help on the defense so bad. So yeah, we'll grab
Trayvon Diggs. Really ended up well.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we'll grab Pat Surtain for them. And then I think it's another easy pick. It says edge. Well, they grab Galladay. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, they need wideouts. As honestly, like, if you're looking at them, the Giants they weren't good by any means. They weren't
terrible.
Their defense played with their hair on fire, and their personnel wasn't even that good.
No.
So, like, I mean, on one hand, you can either play into the strengths. I mean, I know this is a bad edge class, but I think you could reach a little bit and take Kwity Paye. There's a dude from Wake Forest who's an athletic freak at edge that everyone is talking about now. I was listening to a Packers podcast. I think his name might go to edge. He's not even on their board. Well, maybe
if I scroll down, he will be.
Yeah. Wow.
No,
it's Basham.
Yeah.
58. That's not terrible.
You could get him in the second round as
I mean, based off this board, I just know people were amping him up a little bit because he's a freak. But like, I mean, I agree with Hankley. You should probably go wide out here because I mean, you have Galladay, but like, your next best pass catcher is Evan Ingram, who is not a good pass catcher.
Is he even on the Giants anymore?
Yeah, he has one more year, right?
Pro Bowl or two. Robert Tonyan.
Dude, Robert Tonyan got robbed. The freaking
I'm not going to argue with you there.
The 26-year-old journeyman who just had his first good season ever, finally plays well and gets beat out by the Evan Ingram. Oh my God!
And I think
Sir drops a lot.
The Eagles would be idiots to pass up on a decent wide receiver.
Hold on though. The Eagles also, you guys told me this, I didn't even know this, took Rager over JJ. So let's pick a worse wide receiver. So if there's a wideout, they can take Devonta Smith. They take Elijah Moore from Ole Miss. Yeah.
He's
way down.
I think J.C. Horn would make sense.
I think they take Devonta.
Yeah,
the Eagles are going to be
and
so
Jalen.
down.
And Jalen.
You have to start Greg Ward out there. And not that Travis Fulgham was bad, but he was practice squad beginning of the year. Packer legend Travis Fulgham. You have a Heisman wide receiver out there, you have to take it.
Who was at Bama the same year as Jalen as a freshman. So they have the connection already.
Exactly.
As well. Now there's two of those in the first round. Right. Teams picking their buddy.
So yeah, let's grab.
We could have said that about Waddle too, if we chose Devontae over.
Okay. Darrisaw, once again, kind of a similar pick with the Bengals. Need to take an O-line here to grab your an offensive tackle to guard your franchise quarterback. And
yeah, we talked about this last time. My thought process on this wouldn't change.
Yeah.
I think you go Darrisaw.
So we'll grab Darrisaw there. Vikings, who are going to try to make a playoff push for the 15th year in a row, or excuse me, a Super Bowl push. They're going to be ranked number 1 at the NFC North, and they're going to.
The Vikings are also always the NFL draft champions. Hang the banner. Everyone every year is like the Vikings did amazing, and it's because it doesn't even usually end up very good. Like their first round pick, Jeff Gladney, just got arrested for dragging his girlfriend by her hair outside of his car.
Not great.
So
not great.
Not disavow
we do not condone that behavior because we're not Vikings fans.
Yeah,
but we'll have to clip that out. We shouldn't joke about that.
He's a law student. He'll find his way around. I feel like,
but
JC. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but then I'm convinced that Rick Spielman reads Bleacher Report mocks and then just takes guys with name recognition.
Like, what's up? We're saying this week.
Yeah, like
say
Troy
Jalen
Phillips. That's a good pick.
Oh, Daniel Jeremiah had to take in Mac Jones.
Yeah, and then they get the guys in camp. They're like, oh my God, these guys are terrible. And then they've already hung the draft banner.
Mel Kiper, why? You fucked up our pick.
Yeah, exactly.
It is a very Minnesota thing to hang banners on things that don't really matter in the long run. Like division titles when you don't win a playoff game.
We were given ESPN rating 2020 draft class an A+. That in the Raptors. A+ 2020 draft class.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that Parsons, I don't know. I could see Mike Zach. He loves his defense, and I know he was super pissed about their performance the beginning of last year. I mean, they improved a little bit.
Would he take another rookie corner though? Because rookie corners generally suck the first year.
I think you underestimate how awful their secondary is going to be.
And Gladney's probably not.
He's done.
Back.
They lost,
or at least he'll be out for a while.
Dantzler is not that good. I mean, Mike Hughes has paper knees.
Pat P. burnt.
Pat P is actually terrible, dude, and they're all super excited about him here, and it doesn't make any sense. Like,
it's like that Jordan Love guy.
Yeah.
Develop your quarterback. No, I would, if I were them, I could see them taking Trevin Moehrig, honestly, the safety from TCU.
I feel like that'd be a bit of a reach, and let's see where they have him at.
I don't know where this point. Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, honestly, Minnesota also has no trouble throwing like everything at OL, even if it doesn't stick every year.
I feel like an interior lineman that would be a somewhat ideal move, especially with Dalvin. Like, you locked him up, and just having a guy that can like push especially when you're going up against like the NFC North. Who knows how much longer Akeem Hicks will be around, but like you got Hicks and Mack, and then you've got like Kenny Clark, and you've got, Zadarius Smith on that edge as well. So you really want someone like up the middle that's going to be able to bully their way to get, a couple extra yards. And
right,
you've got a star like that in Dalvin. I think that makes a ton of sense. But
yeah, you talked about AVT last time, Elijah Vera Tucker. Give people abbreviated names when you can. AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker.
We keep it short.
That's what Big Cat did this week or a couple weeks ago for Andy Dalton. If Elijah Vera Tucker branded himself as AVT, top 10 pick.
Top 10 pick.
AVT is a top 10 pick. Elijah Vera Tucker is a first rounder.
Didn't go by 80-14 going into the draft. He would go first round instead of second round.
Jesus.
But yeah, I think Vera Tucker makes a lot of sense. We've been on this topic for a while, so we'll just take him.
Yeah. That's Mac Jones, honestly.
Yeah, he's Belichick's been to almost all of his pro days thus far. Where is our good buddy Mac Jones?
Where he drafted him?
Oh shit, you're right.
He did.
Okay, never mind.
All the QBs. So Kellen Mond is now Ian Book. You're grabbing Ian Book with this.
Peters, me and Henkel watched some Kellen Mond. He's like good. Like, he's actually
but he
good.
has some very large red flags, to say the least.
No, dude, but like I'm just saying, like if you watch
he put in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, because you're watching his highlights. You're watching his highlights. Look at the lowlights.
No, Peters, we took the thing where it plays you every offensive snap of the game, and it was the Sugar Bowl against like Duke, wasn't it? Or something? North Carolina, yeah. Yep. And he was really good. Like,
what a great defense, though.
I thought I don't know. I thought one of the knocks on him was that he wasn't accurate. And me and Henkel were watching him. He's like pretty accurate. Like, he was not bad. And he's huge.
He has very poor decision making.
Dude, the Bears should absolutely take him round 2. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, you should actually take that dude. Like, that. If you want to develop a guy, like, that's the dude to like very high ceiling, probably a low.
We
floor,
will, and
like,
the fan base will probably riot.
Yeah.
Because we all see Mitch 2.0.
Yeah.
Okay, Pats. You know what? Micah Parsons fits like a glove here.
Right.
Guy with issues off the field.
Belichick could mold.
Bill Belichick can like voodoo magic into like being a 20-year NFL player.
And he'll be insane. Because like
he'll be insane. I mean, people say that this dude literally could be like a top 5 pick. Like, he's very good. The Cardinals select a hairstylist for Cliff Kingsbury.
I mean, Cardinals have just gotten even better on the offensive side, and obviously they got Watt too on the defense. But I think JC and we might have grabbed Najee Harris with them last time. But I think JC would be a great fit here. Now that you lost Pat Pete,
I was gonna say they have corner problems, don't they, man? Yeah.
Yeah. Who's it? Like Byron Murphy out of Washington's gonna be like their first. He's gonna be like cornerback number 1 for them, I think. So
yeah,
it's not great.
Yeah, I think J.C. Horn makes a ton of sense here. That's kind of a no-brainer. Raiders, we know they're gonna go speed, so they won't be taking an offensive tackle. I mean, they just signed Kenyon Drake. I was like, Mark Davis really likes Najee Harris. He's got the intangibles. I feel like defense would have to be a move here, right?
For the Raiders, it says, dude, isn't their O-line in shambles, though?
Well, they traded Trent Brown back to the Patriots, and then...
Dude, the only guy they retained was Incognito. They cut like 3 people.
Do they still have Colton Miller?
I thought they cut Richie. I thought they cut everyone.
And then he came back around and was like, coming back to the Raiders.
Colton Miller's still on it. I mean, he's decent.
Dude, I selfishly would like to keep Tevin Jenkins falling to the Packers, but like if Mike Mayock knows,
the Bears are gonna draft him if he gets there.
Well, I'm saying he should be drafted this pick. Like, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like that dude's a no-brainer. Like he's so good. He's huge. He's a freak. Like,
yeah, I could see the possibility of them grabbing Tevin Jenkins if he is the best available, offensive tackle in the spot. I mean, what other defensive players we talked?
I was gonna say, I mean,
edge, but it seems like the Raiders, outside of like Max Crosby, they just draft these like hybrid, like why am I blanking on his name right now? Jonathan Abrams, like just freak athletically, but just cannot cover.
Fastest 40 guys.
Yeah.
If you're like sub 4.4, they'll draft you.
They'll take
no matter what.
So yeah, they're going for Rondell Moore right here. I mean, I could honestly see them grabbing like Kwity Paye, just like a huge edge. I mean, it says Azeez Ojulari and Jalen Phillips were there. Jalen Phillips had a really good pro day. Can someone look up Jalen Phillips 4.4 or it's not?
Yeah, I got it.
40 time.
Wasn't it crazy? I thought it was like 4.5.
Yeah, it was.
He ran a 4.56.
Yeah, for an edge.
As an edge, how big is he?
He's like 260 in there, 270.
I mean, to be fair, all these dudes are fudging their times. He is 6'5", 266. Ooh,
Jesus Christ!
All right,
even if it's like 4.6. That's
dude,
still
fair,
stupid.
aren't all these dudes running, like all the receivers are running 4.3s because they're pro days?
Marshall and Jamar Chase was at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of BS.
Not that fast of receivers. I think Mark Davis has already got his reservation at PF Chang's in Las Vegas to bring in Jalen Phillips. So he's got that reservation made. I don't know. Would you say him grabbing anyone else? I feel like defense is a need for them.
No, I think that's
Phillips
a good pick,
Jenkins.
dude, honestly. And he fits the mold of them just taking like the most athletic guy regardless of football.
Okay, so the Dolphins. Would we go right? I think they would go maybe Najee Harris here.
If they want to take a running back in the first round.
Right.
Like,
I feel like if they're going to go offense, though, because we already had them taking Kyle Pitts.
They took Pitts. So they need like a wideout.
At 18.
I don't know who the next
Rashad.
It's probably a Bateman, yeah.
To Bateman
I don't think he would stretch at 18 either. He's fallen a little bit, but I think that would still be a big.
I could see Owusu Korma from ND.
On the defensive side, yeah.
Basically, if Flores really liked him at his pro day,
sure,
because they need a linebacker, and he's like your modern day, can cover the entire field, make tackles, both be like behind the line of scrimmage.
So you think they would grab an edge or just a traditional type of hybrid linebacker?
I think it would be if they went defense, it'd be best available.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with this pick at all. Especially if they grabbed Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like they could. I mean, they had a decent running attack last year. Some kind of no-name guys coming into the season
and there's like you can get like a running back in like the third round,
right?
And he'll be just fine.
Yeah, let's take Karamoa then for him. I would not argue with that pick. I'd be like, okay, looks like a good pick for the Dolphins. The football team.
Dude, I could see. Yeah, I mean, they need to tackle.
They'd probably go Jenkins here.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see if anything else. Their D line is probably one of the best in football.
They don't need defensive help.
They like exclusively drafted like defensive line.
It's like five. It's literally like five guys. It's like the Kerrigan, Young, Jonathan Allen. Yeah, I mean they're insane. And then Montez Sweat too.
Yeah. He's a beast.
Yeah, I take Tevin Jenkins or don't really think about it, honestly. I mean, Bears. Oh, dear.
This is like such a bad spot. Now, like the two top.
Trade back for Kellen Mond and a future fourth. That's what you guys should do.
Well, we got Damian, so we won't be taking any of these running backs.
Do you actually have?
I don't know. I've seen in a few mock drafts it has us taking Greg Newsome now that we cut Fuller, which
now you're on the quarterback train.
Pro Football Focus had that as like a C- though.
Yeah, I mean,
they're not super high on Newsome. They're not high on Newsome for us.
Aren't their college grades pretty suspect?
Aren't all their grades pretty suspect?
Yeah.
Some of their stuff is all right. I kind of like the NFL stuff.
Yeah, when it fits your narrative, O'Day. I see you, Mr. Lawyer, maybe.
I saw one with Sam Cosmi going to 20. I don't know. This is just a tough spot now because you need a quarterback. All of them are off the board. You're not going to take Bills or Kellen Mond.
I've seen us trading back to 26, the Browns. I've seen that a lot. Because then we gain. Why don't we do that? I mean, we gain like another second-round pick. We get like their second round.
That would make sense if you're going for more offensive tackles.
Yeah.
The only thing is
it was basically like if all like the top tackles get drafted and all the QBs, then like the sixth pick doesn't really make a difference for us. And if we can gain another second rounder or like a third,
right?
Then I think that would be the smart thing to do. But if we're at 20 with this, I could see Newsome then. I think that would make the most sense.
I mean, he is a Chicago kid. It would be kind of cool to see. Definitely a guy that's
like one of my favorite players.
I know some.
And it would also just piss off Packers fans, which Pace is tuned into.
All right, we'll go Greg Newsome then, out of Northwestern.
O'Day's fuming right now.
Dude, I know he's so fun to watch. His tape is really cool, and Northwestern is just fun to watch. They were good this year. What are you talking about?
They're an okay team to watch.
If you've watched them in the long run, you always know how it ends out.
We were down there in like 2014 for a game. They were atrocious.
The Colts on the board. I would think they would most likely reach, if not maybe trade back to grab an offensive tackle here for Carson Wentz. And I think Sam Cosmi is starting to become the consensus third best tackle, whereas before it was Mayfield was up there. Eichenberg has some injury concerns?
No, he's just not as athletic as the other top guys.
Yeah, I could see him, even though he's 37th on this big board, I could easily see them taking Sam Cosmi here. So we'll just go with that.
The only injury Liam ever had was he got his eye poked out and he played through it. He couldn't see out of one eye.
I remember that. That was disgusting.
And he played through the entire game. It's kind of a beast.
All right, so the Titans have lost almost all of their cornerbacks. They got Desmond King, and I think that's the only one they have left. Malcolm Butler's gone. Adoree Jackson's with the Giants now. But I think edge is just going to be an even bigger issue for them. I mean, they don't have Corey Davis, so they could even go
wide out.
I
think they just take best available defensive player, though.
Yeah.
Since they have basically every other than inside even inside D-line they need.
Their edge is pretty bad now too.
Yeah, because Clowney is probably not coming back.
He's going to
Cleveland. I think they're best, supposedly. Cleveland wants him. I don't know if he wants to go to Cleveland.
They said they thought it was going to get done this week. Yeah.
So the Jets,
dummy software.
Trying to get me to get a virus on my computer. So at this point, I don't think it's a stretch to grab a running back. They have ETN over Harris. I think I would probably take Harris.
Well, honestly, I would take another lineman if I were the Jets, but I mean,
I feel like they'll be able, with their second round pick though, they're going to be able to grab, at least
they can grab a Leatherwood or a Mayfield.
I mean, they do need a running back now. I mean, they just got rid of overly expensive Le'Veon Bell, and then their running back is 88-year-old Frank Gore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Najee would make a lot of sense here. I don't know if we'll discuss this in a bit. I think there might be another team that takes a running back, but I think Najee.
Okay. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense
there. Steelers. Oh, if he's healthy, you'd grab Caleb Farley.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty easy. Bears could even do that as well if they didn't want to do Greg Newsome.
That's a weirdly low spot on the big board.
He fell a lot, I think.
Yeah. Well, and that's just
– they
have him at 34.
Yeah.
He was a lot higher last time.
He was at 9 and 10 with Pat Surtain, who had a really good pro day. I think a team like the Steelers would gladly take
that could be a steal
here, who could end up being a steal like J.J. Watt or T.J. Watt for them a couple years back. So we'll take him and the Jaguars. So they signed Marvin Jones, receiver, this year. They've got DJ Chark. And that's,
they don't really have another wideout though.
Yeah, that's about it.
So they'd probably take best available wideout or offense tackle if there's anyone they really.
If Rashad Bateman is at 25 and you already grabbed your,
quarterback in the
future, I think that'd be a great pickup for him.
Yeah,
Rashad Bateman, and they're gonna have an early second round pick, obviously. So there's going to be more offensive tackles on the board there as well that they could go and see.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about how the depth of that versus receiver, I think that makes a lot of sense.
We'll go Bateman there for them. And then, so this could change if Clowney ends up signing with the Browns. As a person in the front office of the Browns, it's would you want to go maybe Barmore?
I think Barmore's a beast. Yeah.
I do too.
I think he showed in the playoff. I think he showed in the playoff that he can handle top talent. Like
he's far and away the best IDO, even though those guys sometimes take about 2 years to get good. I mean, like he's still I would take him too.
But playing next to Myles Garrett will make you a heck of a.
And if they not that Clowney's been a huge impact player, but you've got a bunch of guys that the offense is going to have to scheme around, which as unless you're Aaron Donald or like a Kenny Clark, we can throw in that conversation, like a dominant defensive tackle.
Even Hicks.
That can rush the passer too. Yeah, even Hicks as well. We can throw him in there.
Very few dudes are that big who can rush the passer and also defend the run. Like you're not usually getting pressure from your nose tackle. I mean, and if I were the Browns there, I mean, your offense is pretty loaded as it is. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, for Ravens, dude, I would take a receiver. Didn't they just sign a receiver?
Yeah, but it was not good.
Okay, yeah. So like,
not like a one.
They're rolling into the season with Hollywood, Watkins, and Willie Snead. Yeah. So like, I think you take. Okay, I don't know why they're that high on Elijah Moore and that low on Rondale Moore. I think that's flipped, if anything.
I just don't know if they would grab Rondale Moore.
Dude, didn't we talk about how Terrace Marshall makes a lot of sense because all those tiny size. All those tiny speed guys are the same. They're the same player as freaking Hollywood, right? Yeah. Right. I think we talked about this last time. I think this was actually I think this probably stayed the same.
We did take him with the Ravens. I really don't think that changed. I mean, maybe Darius Toney, 5'11".
He's just like another Hollywood though.
Yeah,
they already have that.
Elijah Moore, 5'9".
Right, like it's a great thing to have on your team, but you don't need two of them.
But you don't need one of them.
Yeah.
So are we in agreement with Terrace Marshall? I mean, we took him before, but I think
I've seen Terrace even taken like 22, 23, 24 range. I feel like this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I would not argue with that pick. I think that would actually be a really good I would say steal, but it would be a really good pickup for them for sure. Saints.
I mean, they're not going to contend for 7 years, honestly. So
I could see them taking Kwity Paye. I think it's actually really late for him. I think this would be a steal,
especially because they love big dudes who are athletic freaks at edge. They literally traded up to get Marcus Davenport and traded an extra first to get him for like 3 picks. So like, I feel like that would make sense. Plus, edge, as it says, is their third need.
And this was a guy at the beginning of, the college season, and even after the playoffs, who was sort of a projected top 15 guy, and you could see him go within there, right? Like that's equation.
He's like Rashawn Gary. Like he literally has like all the tools. Like, I mean, I don't know. Rashawn Gary's college production wasn't even that good. Kwity Paye's is probably better, but like. What really matters is like they don't really make that many dudes that big who are that fast that can bend. So like when you have it, you usually take them. And if that's a position of need, I agree. This is very late for him. I usually see him in the top like half of mocks. So
Packers.
Oh, can you flip it to interior O-line for me?
Yeah, I mean we other than AVT as you like to call him now, we haven't taken any other. Interior offensive line.
No, dude. I think they're gonna take Landon Dickerson.
Why is that?
So I was listening to a podcast this week. It was a Packers podcast. I think it was a Locked On Packers. I don't remember what it was, but they're talking about this guy. So I was looking him up, and there are people that are saying that they think that like absent injuries, this dude is like one of the best players in this draft. Period. So he started at Florida State as a true freshman. Or something like that. And then he went to Alabama. He tore the same ACL twice. So that's why he's pretty low. It's like 2 of the same really bad injury on the exact same knee, not even opposite knees. But like he's massive. He can play center or guard, and his like movement is just unbelievable. He's just like, you take a guy, I mean, if he tears his ACL one more time, his career is over. So that's the thing.
That's the risk, right.
But he is like unbelievably good. But that being said, also though, I could see them taking a corner, specifically the dude from Syracuse, Melifonwu. These guys have corners ranked really weird because Stokes I've seen in some mocks like way higher than that. They've got Asante Samuel Jr. at 60. I could see Green Bay taking him at I could see Green Bay taking him at 29. Yeah, I mean, with how deep this is, though, if you can get a guy like Elijah Molden in the second, he's really good. I think they're going to take an interior O lineman first round. I'd probably go.
I would agree with you. They would probably take the O lineman over at corner just because they re-signed the GOAT, Kevin King.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's a fine backup, but they will draft his replacement. I just think you can get a guy in the second round that's probably better than Kevin King.
So, it doesn't take much. For the Packers?
Yeah, okay. I just saw that this week, and I was like, you know what? That kind of makes sense to me, especially because Corey Linsley's not on the team anymore.
Sure. So here's my team I think could take ETN if he's there, and that's the Bills. I think that's like the one spot on offense that there's sort of a weakness for them at this point. Moss and Singletary didn't really necessarily – I mean, I don't want to say they didn't get it done, but if you were to add a running back who has a really explosive playability, I think ETN would definitely be a great pickup here. And they've got Javonte Williams really high as well. I've never seen him at 29.
Yeah, he's a scat back. Apparently, he's really good.
Second round.
Didn't they? North Carolina have two running backs. They're both right there.
Yeah, they're both.
No, they were literally I think they were literally responsible for like half of their more than half.
Look at that touchdowns. Gap though between the running backs. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
29 to 83.
Draft guys don't really value running backs at all.
But you think there would be someone that slips in like the 50s, or like someone that slips in like the top of the third round. Not a 40-something gap.
Right.
Yeah. So what are we thinking here?
They need a running back, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, they've got them on the roster, but if you had a guy like ETN and you're at
30, but they're all not ETN could be like a 3-down guy. He can he's a good runner. He can rush it well and he can catch.
Oh, exactly.
And there's not like a corner that steps up to be like a first round right now.
Right.
And they re-signed all their linebackers, so they don't really need.
Yep, like a Zaven Collins
right
who the Packers could have taken, but O'Day wanted to get in line.
Undrafted free agent linebackers are better than first rounders.
Kamal Martin is a 5th rounder. He's good.
Patrick Queen's going to be the next great running.
Patrick
great
Queen
linebacker.
led the NFL in missed tackles and was PFF's worst, one of their worst rated. He's atrocious.
Again, PFF is just fake news. Trump said
Let's go off missed tackles then.
All right, we're rambling. Let's grab ETN for the Bills.
Yeah.
For the Chiefs, it's got to be
lineman.
They could trade back.
Wait, dude, didn't they just sign actually like a big tackle?
Kyle Long.
Oh, okay.
Guard,
No. They signed somebody else too. They traded.
Not like a big name guy though.
Oh, okay. I thought they made some moves actually.
No, I don't
know. Let me look it up. I mean, still draft the O lineman, but
I could see Leatherwood actually being in the spot, like a really big bodied left tackle. Dylan Reduns could be an option as well. We'll see. Maybe Eichenberg. I could see Eichenberg though, sliding to second.
They assigned Joe Thuney.
Thuney, isn't he really? He's
a guard,
former Patriot, right?
Yeah, he's good. He's good, but he's a guard.
They signed him 5 years, $80 million. So that was a big signing. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, where are they just printing money there? What are they doing? Oh my god.
Tax loopholes. It's all in the Cayman Islands.
Actually, don't they use Mahomes' contract like an ATM because they can pay him out like a bonus at the beginning of the year every year and then make his salary $4 million or something like that? Yeah.
But they still have Kelsey on the books, and they're gonna have and Tyreek, and they still have some big contracts.
Yeah.
They'll be back in the AFC. They'll be back in the
Super Bowl. 5 year for $80 million. That's only 16 a year.
Yeah, only. Yeah.
Are we thinking offensive tackle then for them?
I would take
a ton of guards who could move out.
I would take Eichenberg, especially if they just spent that much money on a guard, right?
Yeah. Who are you thinking?
The Bucks, the rich. I would take Eichenberg. Yeah.
Okay. We'll just take best available.
And then the Bucks, the rich get richer.
Yeah, they've re-signed everyone except for Antonio Brown.
Dude, it's so annoying, honestly. Like,
literally, Antonio to the Packers.
Oh God, I do not want that. Oh my God.
Oh, I would love it.
I think
it'd be interesting for like 2 games, and then something bad would happen. Like, yeah.
If we're talking like scat back though, I mean, they're not going to need a linebacker now that they just re-signed, Levante David, but
yeah,
I feel like Javonte Williams would be one of those guys, especially since they're clearly in win now mode with Brady.
Yeah.
You lost Fournette. I mean, it's Mr. Ronald Jones there now, right?
Wait, yeah. So they don't have – so Fournette is not re-signed?
Not as of yet, I think. Or no, did he?
He might have resigned, actually.
I think he did. I think it was on – I don't know how long, but –
I mean, I agree with what you're saying though. Like they're trying to win now.
Then maybe they did. Then I would take Zaven Collins would be the move here, then, right?
I mean, dude, don't they have Shaq Barrett and Devin White though? Like that dude's not gonna get on the field.
David.
Yeah, like
no, Bucks just signed Giovanni Bernard instead of Leonard.
Oh, then I would take a running back. Actually, I would take a
Giovanni Bernard because Stephen Che has his new JPP for Giovanni.
I mean, who knows? They could also go after a developmental piece like Ian Book. QB prodigy.
To learn from Brady.
Yeah. They've got Josh Rosen already.
Take over in 5 years.
Yeah.
Bring back Jameis.
He deserves better. I mean, this is so – I literally can't think of a hole, honestly, on this team, dude. Like,
I would just think maybe, like, it would either be a linebacker or running back just because, like –
that's where they're going to have turnover soon.
Yeah, I mean, if they just sign Gio Bernard, you can definitely get – if you take Williams, you're definitely upgrading at that point, right? Yeah, I mean – and if you say I agree they're in win now, they're just trying to pump out rings at this point. Like, you probably take the dude that can give you 50% of snaps, whereas, like, Zaven Collins is probably going to pay – if he's playing behind Barrett, White, and who else? They have one more guy too.
David.
Shaq. Yeah, and Levante David. Yeah, like, I mean, you're not going to play that much if you're Zaven Collins.
It could be a really interesting situation if Travis Etienne is available, which is not out of the equation. And
I bet he will be.
Or Najee, yeah. Whichever one they fall.
Like that.
I could see Najee being the only running back that goes, honestly, in the first round. But I mean, in this situation, the way we're doing it, I think that Williams makes sense.
Yeah, let's go Javonte Williams. And the Bucks are your 2021 Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, clearly.
But
did they grade these or no? No grades.
No, we didn't do PF because the PFF doesn't give us the ability to trade, which is, that's a bit unfortunate. So, yeah, I mean, there's the draft. It's in 2 weeks.
There we go. Gotta love it.
Maybe. Yeah, two and a half weeks on Thursday.
It's going to be exciting to see how incorrect our predictions were, and then we can match them.
Exactly. We'll probably do another draft either the week before, so next week, or the week of, and have that up. So, and then we can see how incorrect we were overall. So,
it's going to be just like there's a lot of people that have done way deeper scouting than we have by reading like Bleacher Report and stuff like that. So then, like when that Wake Forest edge goes like top 10, we'll be like, oh my God. And it's probably be like a very prudent move that we just don't have the nuance to dive into.
Exactly. But. All right. Well, that will conclude it. So if you made it to the end, we appreciate you.
There we go. Good stuff. All right. And cut. Sweet. That was good.
The Sox have 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
What's the score?
Oh, Bulls
3-3.
Choked too.
Would be a real.
Oh, they just fucked up the throw. Go Net!